Hi, Bill Parliament from RadicalMarketingSolutions.com, and this is video 2 of the Beginner's Guide to Small Business Internet Marketing, how to take your offline business online. In video 1, you and I discussed keyword research, how to find the words and phrases your buyers are searching for online. So now that you have an understanding of what your buyers are searching for, it's time to create your website. So my first recommendation to you is create your website using WordPress. WordPress is a free, downloadable website building tool that easily allows you to create a website in 5 minutes or less. WordPress originally became famous for its blogging platform, but has developed into an excellent content management system, meaning it's an excellent place to manage your written content, your video content, and your images all in one place so it displays on the internet for your buyers to see. Some of the things that I love about WordPress are it's SEO friendly. WordPress comes search engine optimized right out of the box, meaning that the search engines can easily find your website based on the built-in functionality already inside of WordPress. The second thing that I love about WordPress is it's easy to upload and update your content. You can add fresh, unique content whenever you want. You don't have to send your articles to your webmaster and hope they get around to publishing those on your website. You're in control of your website whenever you want. The other thing about WordPress is it's internet-based, meaning you can access your website as long as you have access to the internet, and you can add articles, videos, and images whenever you would like. One of the other reasons that I love WordPress is WordPress plugins. Plugins are actually extensions or added functionality that you can add to your website that in the old days you would need to hire a website developer or programmer to create, but WordPress has a ton of these already for you, totally free. The fourth reason that I love WordPress is it's super easy to install. As I mentioned before, if you follow along in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can install WordPress on your server in less than 5 minutes and have a website up and running. And fifth, WordPress is open source, meaning that there are a lot of smart developers and programmers out there always working on WordPress, creating new plugins, creating new WordPress themes. So you as the business owner get the benefit from these developers improving WordPress all the time. So now that you know how you're going to build your website, let's talk about choosing a domain name to use with your website. So some of the tips that I recommend for you in choosing a great domain name is to make sure you use your keyword inside your domain name. Now, if you're concerned about your brand or you want to use your business name in your domain name, then that's fine. But if you're not concerned with brand or your business name and you want to rank for certain types of keywords, I highly recommend that you add your keyword to your domain name. The second tip that I like to recommend as far as domain names, keep your domain names short. Under 12 characters is best. The reason for this is a shorter domain name is easier to remember and it's much easier to type into the search bar. Also, avoid using hyphens in your domain name and make sure you stick to the top level domain names like .com, .org, or .net. So once you have some ideas picked out for a domain name, you need to check to make sure that they're available, that you can actually use them for your website and some other business hasn't already used them. So what you need to do is you need to go to a domain registrar. I recommend GoDaddy, and you can simply go in, type in the domain names that you like, click search, and GoDaddy will tell you whether or not that domain name is available. If it is, simply just click the buy button. I think it costs you $10, $11, something like that to buy a domain name, and then you're off to the races. So now that you have your domain name picked out, it's time to choose hosting. As I mentioned earlier, WordPress is super easy and quick to install. If you follow these instructions and if you go with the hosting companies I'm about to recommend, it's super easy. Otherwise, you're going to need to install databases and kind of play around with some code, and that's not really what you want to do. So I recommend using a hosting company, either HostGator or Bluehost. Both of these hosting companies are WordPress friendly. They come with cPanel hosting. They come with MySQL databases. They support PHP, but most importantly, they come with something called the Fantastico one-click WordPress install. Simply go into your hosting account, cPanel. You'll find the WordPress Fantastico one-click installer. You'll click it. In less than 5 minutes, you'll have a website up and running. So that's what I recommend as far as hosting. So now, fourth, let's talk about some critical components you really need to have on your website. Number one, on your home page, it's really important that you have a benefit-rich headline so that it gets people into the rest of your body copy. You have about 5 to 7 seconds on average to grab your prospect's attention. So having a great benefit-rich headline on your home page's website will help tell the prospect or your buyer exactly where they are on your website. You want to make sure you have an About page. Believe it or not, your About page is probably your second most visited web page on your website. Your About page should tell your story, why you're in business, how you got in business. So make it fun, tell a story. That's really important. You want to make sure that you have a contact page on your website. This is where you're going to have your name, your email, your business address, and you also want to put some sort of form in there where people can type in their name and they can email you directly from your website. If you're using WordPress, there's some excellent WordPress plugins that easily allow you to create these contact forms. So make sure you have a contact page on your website. And fourth, you want to have a lead capture form on your website. This is where you can capture a name and email in exchange for some sort of free information like a free report, newsletter, because you want to capture the leads that come to your website that may not be ready to buy from you when they first visit your website. On average, it takes about 7 contacts from you before people online feel comfortable buying from you. So having a lead generation form on your website is really important to establish trust with your prospects. And finally, you want to track your results. Any good direct response marketer knows your marketing efforts need to be tracked and measured. So some of the free tracking mechanisms that I recommend are Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tools. Google Analytics will show you how much traffic you're getting to your website, how long your people and visitors are staying on your website, how many pages they're going through on your website, and what keywords they're typing in to find your website. So it's really important. Google Webmaster Tools will tell you if you have problems with your website. Do you have certain pages that are blocked from the search engines? Do you have any viruses or malware on your website? And other things like who's linking to your website and additional keyword information. So it's important to submit your website to Google Webmaster Tools. And again, if you're using WordPress, there are excellent plugins for these, so it's super easy to add. So this is Episode 2 of the Beginner's Guide to Small Business Internet Marketing. If you would like more information, I suggest you grab a copy of my free report. You can grab that right here on my site. The 7 most common and costly mistakes business owners make when taking their business offline to online. And this is Bill Parliament saying, now go dominate Google.